Hello, I hope you are well. This is going to be a bookshelf tour of all my non-fiction books because I'm sorting out all my non-fiction books now. And on my bookshelves, I only keep the books that I love. So any books that I show you are just ones that I absolutely adore. So I have some non-fiction up there, and then I have some here, and then I have this random shelf and this random shelf that I need to sort out. So I'm going to get straight into it. I'll show you the non-fiction that I have here, and I think I'm going to move my non-fiction over to this shelf. So I've made a little space for my non-fiction. This here is fiction, and then here is plays. So I have the story of Pocahontas. This is a gorgeous book, and it's all about Pocahontas' life, and it is really, really sad. And it is by Shirley Graham, and the inside pages are stunning. They roughly take you from when she was born and where she was born, and then to her death. Really gorgeous pages, stunning illustrations within it, and it has loads of gorgeous illustrations of her life. It's a very sad story, the story of Pocahontas' life, but it's just beautifully written. So I'm just gonna put that in there. I then have the Diary of Frida Kahlo, which I hate having books like this because I feel like you can never get to them because there's other books stacked on them. But I think it's because it was too tall, I didn't want to put it up. So let's see if it's too tall for this shelf. Please fit. Oh no, it doesn't fit. That's so annoying. It kind of fits like that. Ah, I really want to be able to just get this out of my shelf and actually read it. So this book was published after Frida Kahlo's life, and it is just her like diaries. So it's obviously all written in Spanish, and then it has the English translation in the back. So each page will show you a printout of it in Spanish and then what it says in English. And some of them are just random lines, and some of them are much more poignant because she was very sick throughout her life. There's a lot of stuff like that. I've tabbed moments within it that I just thought were beautiful. Give you a flick through of it. Obviously as an artist, a lot of illustrations in there, drawings, self-portraits. This picture I found really poignant because it's obviously her. You can tell by like the unibrow and the way she normally draws herself. And then she has these wings, and it says, "Are you leaving?" It says, "No, broken wings." She's like a broken person, and she did have so many surgeries, and in the end she did commit suicide. So it's kind of like that, like, no, I'm in too much pain to fly, to achieve the things that I want. She also wanted to be a mother, and she could never be a mother because when she was 18 she was impaled in a bus accident, and that's what led to her being so ill and having so many surgeries throughout her life. Another self-portrait of her, just a gorgeous collection from her journals and diaries. I then have What to Expect Before You're Expecting. What to Expect Whilst You're Expecting is a really famous book. This is the book that was brought out by the same author, and you can see I've tabbed loads of it because I didn't find it easy to fall pregnant with my son. So this is how to prepare your body, or things that might be the reason you're not getting pregnant. And it has stuff also like if you have fertility issues, IVF, loads of different stuff in it. So I managed to fall pregnant naturally, but if you can't, it does go into all of that as well. So I actually marked everything that I tabbed so that I could easily get to it. Really, really fantastic book. I'm going to put that there because I think I'm going to take this Frida Kahlo one out. I then have an Anne Boleyn book. This is the Anne Boleyn Papers, and it is things that were written about her at the time. So they are letters, her letters to Henry VIII, her letters to people, and people's letters about her, but at the time that they wrote. The only thing I would say with this is because obviously the letters are so old, some of them just end ... and they're completely disjointed because the letter has been ruined, destroyed in some way, so they don't know what that person would have gone on to say. So you can see here loads of ... I took leave of her ... and then ... coming back from the Queen's apartments. So it's quite difficult to read some of the letters because they have been destroyed in some way that you can't actually work out the gist of what people are saying, but I still found this a really interesting book. I also love that it has Anne on the side because I just think that's nice on your bookshelf to have that. I love it when they have things on the spine, anything. Like Wicked obviously has Elphaba on the spine, and then If Cats Disappeared, it has a little picture of a cat. Alice Walker's books have the front cover on the spine, so the front cover has a pair of little girls' shoes, and then the shoes are there on the spine, and then this cover picture is on the spine. I love things on the spine. The colour purple has a purple flower, And this one, convenience store woman, has that fish on the side. Mary Poppins has a little Mary Poppins. I just really love when they put things on the spine. So I love that it's such a big picture of Anne as well on the spine of that. So I thought this was a very good book. I then have The Home Herbalist, and this is just loads of herbal remedies for various different things. They will just have, so here, gums, anything to do with your gums, herbal things that you can make up at home, eczema, and then a load of herbal things for that, hair problems, colic, colds, and then it will have a few different remedies. So it's not just one remedy, it will have quite a few remedies that you can try to help you. And I like herbal, you know, alternative medicines and stuff. So I really like this cover as well. I think it's a really gorgeous cover with all different herbs on it and everything. So it's just a little handbook to have in your house, so I really like that, and I have used that. I have Oprah Winfrey, What I Know For Sure. This is kind of an autobiography. It's Oprah Winfrey talking about life lessons. So they're a series of short stories about her life, and she's saying what I know for sure. So different things, bad things that have happened to her throughout her life. She had like a very harrowing childhood and stuff about that. When that came out after she had her TV show, she talks about that and about her friendship with Gayle King and life lessons from that friendship. And I just really enjoyed the book. I thought it was a really interesting book. I'm going to start sorting the books a little bit, so I think I'm going to put the Frida Kahlo book back where I didn't want it to go because I don't have any space for it. It won't fit. So I'm going to put it back there. And these non-fiction books can go here. So they're completely random. So I'm just going to pop them into kind of high order. Like, yeah, that for now. And then find my other books. So I have a Coco Chanel book here. So this is by Megan Hess. Megan Hess does the most beautiful books. I only own this book, but I want to buy more from her. And she has them on various different people, normally fashion designers. So this takes you through Coco Chanel's life. Coco Chanel was an orphan, and then she became like a multi-millionaire fashion mogul. So some of it will have quotes, and then a picture of like a classic dress from her, and then it will go into her life and what happened within her life. And it's just a really, look how beautiful the designs are in it. Absolutely stunning. And then it will have like big blocks of writing that will take you through her childhood and her as a little girl. And it's just the most stunning book. I don't own anything Chanel. I own Chanel makeup and that's it. If I was a millionaire, I'd definitely own Chanel stuff. I think it's so timeless and classic and beautiful, and I love this book by Megan Hess. Let's see if it's gonna fit. Oh yes, thank God, thank God it fit. Okay, let's put that one there, and then I have here the highway code because hopefully I'm going to learn to drive soon, so I'll put that in there. And then going up to the top shelf up here, I'll show you my non-fiction up here that doesn't fit anywhere else. I have The Diary of an Edwardian Lady by Edith Holden. This is Edith Holden's diary. She was a naturalist and she tracked the seasons within this. So you can see it's all handwritten, and look at her illustrations, how stunning they are. And it's just her diary of the changing seasons. So she'll say April, this is a bird I saw. It's Good Friday, where I went out to, what plants she has seen, and she draws them. Look how accurately she draws them. And this was just her personal thing. She never published this. This was just her personal diary, and look how stunning it is. The same as Frida Kahlo's diary, like just how stunning that she never meant for anyone to see this. This was just her personal. Look at it. Look at the detail, gorgeous. And Edith Holden was also a illustrator. She illustrated many books. Just absolutely gorgeous book. I love this book so much. So that just doesn't fit anywhere else, so that's why it's at the top. This one is The History of the Tale of Peter Rabbit, and this is a stunning book. This was published by Warren, and it is Beatrix Potter basically wrote a story to a boy which turned out to be the story of Peter Rabbit. But this has the letters in it, so it's talking about what happened. So she wrote this story to this boy about this little rabbit, and then years later said, do you have the original letters? Which the original letters are here. She illustrated the whole thing stunningly, and he said, yes, I do actually, and sent them back to her. And then this goes into her trying to get it published, and so then how it eventually turned out. So you can see from the beginning, it's a really interesting book. Let me try and, who wrote this? It's mainly taken from Leslie Linda's A History of Writings of Beatrix Potter, but it just says that on it. It doesn't like have one sole author. But so here's her original drawings. You can see it was just like in a letter to a little boy, and then how it eventually turned out, and all the different letters between her and the publishers. So the publishers were to Frederick Warne and Co, and all the things that they wanted her to cut out. So they thought her stories were a little bit too maybe graphic or violent, and stuff that they didn't like within it, and then different things that she sent back to them. Just really, really fascinating to see the like process of how this book got done. And look how gorgeous that is as well. Oh my god, stunning. Really, really gorgeous book. I then have up here Audrey Hepburn. So this book was done by her sons, and it's Audrey Hepburn, An Elegant Spirit by Sean Hepburn, and it is her son remembering her. So it's got a lot of personal pictures, and it takes you through her childhood and her life, and artwork by Audrey Hepburn there in there. I love just the pictures of her in her garden that are just very natural and not posed, stunning pictures. There's a picture of her just with her son's dog there, and just lovely like unposed pictures of her with her children and just kind of what she was like. There's her in the garden, because she loved gardening. So there she is in the garden with all the flowers she's picked. And it of course has all the big showbiz pictures as well that you would like want to see from Audrey Hepburn as well. It really is everything. So it's her, oh look, her and Colette. Colette famously wrote The Cat, which I absolutely love, The Cat. And she was friends with Colette. Love that. And she wrote Gigi as well. I love Gigi. And Audrey Hepburn was in her play Gigi. I could just talk about Audrey Hepburn all day. But anyway, just really, really gorgeous book about Audrey Hepburn's life. I then have two, I think these are two Tudor books here. This from, what's that publishers? Pitkin. I really like Pitkin. They basically just do non-fiction books, and I just think they're really easy to read. They're almost like magazines, but they have all the information in them that you would need. So if you're like homeschooling, these would be great for them. But this is The 6 Wives of Henry VIII, and it goes through every single wife and everything to do with them. They're like textbooks, but really interesting textbooks. And then this one is all about life in Tudor England, and again, just really interesting textbooks that I'm sure like teachers probably use to teach children, but really engaging, really interesting. Just put those books back, so I'm going to go down to this shelf, and here I just have small books, and I think all of these might be non-fiction. So this one here is about Beatrix Potter's life, the real world of Beatrix Potter. I'm going to move this down to my non-fiction section, and it's all about her life at Hilltop House. So she bought this farm, and she basically became a farmer in her later stage of her life, and it's loads of pictures, there she is on the farm, of her on the farm and what she did on the farm. Really interesting book about that stage of her life. We've got quote books, little cute quote books. I'll leave them up there. Little book of Buddhist wisdom. I might keep that with my little quote books. And then let's move over here, see if I've got any more non-fiction. I think I'm going to move some of this, because it's mostly fiction, just up to here, where this is just mixed fiction here. This is a fantastic book, The Godfile. It's not non-fiction, but it's about a man who goes to prison for a crime he doesn't commit, and he's creating a file, which is this book, as to whether God exists, and he goes back into why he's in prison. What crime did he own up to that he didn't actually commit? Fantastic, fabulous book. It doesn't fit. I'm trying to organise these shelves, and none of these books fit these shelves. I've got Kitchen Princess, that's the volume, Manga 2. I haven't read it yet, so I'll just put it over there for now. Got The Awakening by Kate Chopin. Absolutely love that book. It's a really good classic. I have Gentlemen Prefer Blondes by Nita Luz. This was turned into a film with Marilyn Monroe, and it was originally serialized, and Nita Luz came up with this character who, this woman is kind of a gold digger. She's trying to marry different rich men, and then she wrote it, you can see it's all serialized. She wrote it for a local newspaper, and then it got turned into this book. Really great, witty, fantastic book. I absolutely love that one. Do you keep genres together, or do you keep editions together? Because this is this Modern Classics edition, and over here I have other Modern Classics. So I have The Pumpkin Eater. This is a great story. This is about a woman who, it's very odd, it's just, she's building this house, she has loads of children, and this house is being built that's going to be like the castle, and that's going to be her happily ever after, is when she can move into the castle. But it's really about her husband not understanding her, and it's really, really fabulous. And it was turned into a film, and the film is really good as well. But anyway, do I keep these together? But then they're different colour spines, and I think I have more Modern Classics. I have another one up here which is Animal Farm, but then I have with it a George Orwell that is not a Modern Classic, because I buy my books normally from charity shops. So do I, maybe if I put it like that, it's not really, they're so different, but maybe if I slither these two, so then they're kind of together. All the penguins are different like sizes as well, so it doesn't even look that normal together. So I'll put it in and see what it looks like. That's what it looks like together, all the Modern Classics that I have together. Yeah, I think that looks alright. So here I just need to carry on moving these up. This doesn't fit anywhere, so let's put that there. Oh my god, it's sliding. There, that actually looks a little bit better now that it's not all stacked here. So I have another book. This is Guide to Childbirth. Ina May is basically a well-known midwife, and it's just her kind of opinion. She doesn't like hospitals. She doesn't like women giving birth in hospitals. So if you're interested in that, it's a book all about that. So maybe I'll put it next to the Before You're Expecting book. Ooh, if I can get it to go in there. Oh my god. There. Perfect. So there. And then I have another book which is on the Salem Witch Trials, which I put in my recent Halloween autumn book. So you've probably already heard of it before. But I think that looks a lot better. This looks a lot more organised than it did before. So I've got my Modern Classics together. I've got plays, random fiction, and then non-fiction. And then here, this is all just random fiction, because none of the editions like go together. We've got like classics, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and then a very modern book, Normal Women, that I read. And then down here, I just got another clutter of books that these two I haven't finished reading yet. Look, what do you call this when there's like something just on the spine? Is it not actually called anything in publishing? I just love it. It's like a little Lola. Little gorgeous cat. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Tell me what you think of my non-fiction, and what non-fiction do you have? If any of these topics that I've mentioned, you've read any non-fiction on them, because they're topics that I'm interested in, then please let me know good non-fiction books. I have read other Tudor books. I actually did a whole video on Tudor books, but I got rid of them, the ones that I showed in the video, because if I was not going to reread it, I don't keep it. So I love those books, that's why I've kept them. So anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Feel free to subscribe and comment, and I will see you again soon for another video.